Hello, everyone. Sorry for the delay. Um, we are here for the monthly meeting, Targeted Justice monthly meeting. And as you can see, I didn't even bother to put on makeup because last night criminals didn't want me to make it here today. They burned my face and I wanted to document it because all of these meetings are a historic record. All of these meetings are a historic record of how we warned the government of the abuse that was going on with this dear community and how they ignored us. So I was gonna put on the makeup to cover it up, but since they already have destroyed my body and a lot of it, well, you know what? They didn't let me sleep because they didn't want me here today. But I am not gonna fail every one of you that was waiting for this monthly meeting, particularly because it's going to be the last meeting before we start the meetings in DC because I'm going to be there and I'm going to be holding meetings there. And I want the people in DC, please don't abuse this, the people in DC to write to me to AnnaTJ at proton.me so that we can build a group of these CTIs. I'm going to repeat this in a little while, but I want to have a group set up and for somebody to find a nice coffee shop with parking where we can meet on the second Saturday of November and also to organize because I'm going to be knocking on doors and I'm going to want to have some of members of the community with me. Targeted justice data says that the most amount of targeted individuals live in the DC area. And by nature, Richard's coming in a little while. He can explain that, by nature, this program was created, as you know, for whistleblowers and political adversaries. So it's normal that most amount of people are there. So please, I already contacted two people. I'm going to be calling today one of them that wrote to me. And I just, want to have a nice little team that particularly because we're going to be doing live streaming from DC to report to you about all the developments that, happen, all the meetings we have and the hearings we go to and all the things that happen because we want to keep you abreast. Particularly, as I said, the people that do become donors and supporters. I need people that come in on a monthly basis. I'm going to have a Zoom call with them once a month to do a formal update of everything happening. Let me see if I can see the comments here. Okay, so the bad thing about this, Richard, is you cannot let me see if I can see it. Well, here, awesome effort. Okay, you're going to have to be very patient with me. Can you not move this bench, please? Thank you. You're going to be very patient with me. Yeah, has been doing it to you. Well, you know what? I let me tell you this. Many of you I know can relate. The criminals try to make us ugly, but in this process, we have learned that like the little prince said, on ne voit pas qu'avec le cœur. L'essentiel est l'invisible pour le ciel. One does not see but with the heart. What's essential, it's what's invisible to the eye. And that's one of the things that I had asked God to teach me to not care so much. And I do care. I mean, I do try and whatever, but this I am documenting all this burning, just like Simone gets it in Oregon, just like Mitch got it, like all of us victims. We need to document this because we have been warning the government. And people like the Judge Lee Rosenthal said that this is fantastical. Well, I am documenting it because it's not fantastical. It's very real. And the more you document it, the more we can say to them, I told you so. We have a lot of good things to talk to you about, but I want to introduce Richard because Richard has also good news. And then I have some things that I want to cover with you. Um, Here, the way we have to do it is because this thing doesn't allow horizontal thing. This I remember now. That's one of the reasons I don't like it. But whatever. There you go.
Hi, good morning from Houston, Texas. Just want to make some announcements very quickly. Um, Many of you have heard that Anna is planning to go to Washington, D.C. and represent targeted individuals worldwide. We're going to need your help. We're going to need your financial support to make this happen. So what we're doing is we've set up a special account. We're looking for monthly donations. We need periodic donations. A one-time donation is fine, but it's
commitment.
It's a commitment.
So that we know, so that we have a budget, we can.
So that we have a budget that we can work to, and and as many of you know, Washington D.C. is not in a cheap place to live. So if you can help out, go to Cornerstone and specify in the donation that it's for Anna in DC, and we'll get that to the appropriate account. You can also donate to Patreon.
No, Patreon, no. We have gifts and go. So Patreon,
Okay.
it has a very huge.
For international folks, though, Patreon seems to work better.
And gifts and go.
Yeah,
The gifts and go.
Gifts and
Black
go as
deleted.
well.
I'll talk about that. No Patreon because Patreon is like Stripe that they take like
They-
half of the money you donate. They take it and it's a monopoly and it's yeah.
But okay, that's fine. So we're going to cover that again. Paralegals. If you're a paralegal and if you've ever done any paralegal research, we need some researchers that can help us with a number of projects. So if you'll write to tjustice2@proton.me and put paralegal in the subject line, tell us a little bit about your background, give us a phone number and an email that we can contact you at. Targeted individuals in the greater DC area, we need to know who you are. We're going to be forming a TI group in DC. So if you'll write to tjustice2@proton.me and just put Washington, DC or Wash DC in the subject line, we'll let you know about our first coffee shop meeting in greater Washington, DC area. So keep that in mind. That'll be coming up in November. Let's see, we've got a medical symposium coming up. We're going to have at least 4 medical doctors. They're going to talk about targeting program. This is going to be coming up next month. We'll make some announcement on that, and we'll make some announcement on who the doctors that are going to be involved. So that's going to be a really good symposium. So stay tuned for that. Let's see. In December, we're just an announcement. We do our Targeted Justice annual review. All of our officers and advisors, we're asking all of our officers and advisory board members to participate. So that's a once a year thing. We look at what we've done well this year, what we can improve on, and what some of our challenges and opportunities are for 2026. So that'll be coming up the first or second week in December. And okay, I think that's all the announcements that I've got.
Were you going to talk about what you found today? Or no?
Oh, that's right. We've identified a number of law firms that openly state they're willing to help targeted individuals. We're going to be distributing that in the newsletter. And so stay tuned for that. We've got 4 or 5 of them that are here in the United States. We're still looking for some law firms internationally. We haven't identified any as yet, but we're going to get that information out as soon as we're able to identify some. Let's see. Flyers for those of you.
I'll talk about those.
You talk about those?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
About the flyers for the perps. Okay. Yeah, well, hi, I'm here.
I think there was over live on the air. I'm sorry. I came to the meeting and said, okay, that's it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought you were going to kick us out of here.
Oh,
And of course, I gave you the dirty look, so I apologize.
my airstream probably about to be stolen right now, so I may just burn off real quick. And
Well, look, they sent the FBI perps here to attack me with
I've
a.
already I've seen them.
Have you seen
They're after
them?
me. They're after me right now. They're hitting me like.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. You know, I see. Do you have V2K?
Excuse me?
Do you have V2K?
Yeah, big time. I mean, these
Really?
guys. I mean, it's been,
Okay. Well,
these guys are
see,
insanely attacking me.
see how it feels
I mean,
here.
I'm talking all kind of chemical attacks, B2K, everything.
Okay. Well, I'm back here. I hope that
24/7.
you have already checked out.
Okay.
It's here. See, I hope you have already checked out in
I'm
activism.
here right now. I just put right there. I was just sitting.
No, it's here.
The guy. Just,
It's here.
okay. We got a jam here.
You have to breathe.
Yeah.
Keep quiet.
Yeah.
See if you hear it,
I don't hear it.
because this is working.
Okay, that's excellent. So
We're experimenting with a signal blocker, and one TI just came here and it blocks the V2K. So he's already the sixth person that confirms. So this is really good.
And it did.
Okay, and we're gonna roll it out. We needed to test it first with a lot of
Okay.
people.
Yeah, I
And so,
I got one from him already. I went down to Alvin and met with him.
well, if you take meds, they don't, no, don't. This is it.
Okay, that's
Is it working?
Yeah, it's different. It's a different one than I got.
No, this is because what this blocks is W band and it seems to the B2K.
Yeah, that's working.
Did it silence it?
This is the
But
first.
it's almost, I can hear a little bit out of this ear.
Yeah.
If that's the other one, the device didn't work. That's doing a lot better job. I can already
Well,
tell.
it's a different concept. So, yeah, we're gonna announce it.
We
But
tried it on.
you, here, let me,
Okay.
write me your name and email so I can write to you, okay? Here.
They hacked all my phones, my iPhones. They've stolen like 6
Here.
iPhones for the past 6 months. I mean, past
Meeting.
year.
Put here a meeting.
But I put all my
Okay, sorry about that, guys, because I have a lot to cover with you, but the most important thing I want
They go in. They
to
get
get going with you is the following.
See,
For those of you that watch my Gabo and in my Mira, I put the link of the sample letter, the sample privacy act request, okay? And I don't know if you saw my Mira, you saw how Cash Patel openly stated that he kicked out the door of the prohibited access and restricted access buttons.
Well, we did it.
And
Not together.
that's where we're going for.
Yeah.
So I brought my privacy act request to read to you more or less. When you look at
really.
the sample that we have in
Found out.
activism,
That's
how to fight back,
Man, I didn't even-
yeah, it blocks both. And it blocks B2K and it blocks, most important for me are the W band. So the frequencies for the W band in my body, and I have been able to test it because, so when I'm in the car, these criminals put a car next to me and they zoom with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi attack my implants. And the reason I know that is when I get to my destination, my urine is completely foamy. But with this, it doesn't happen. And I can have, and that's how I know that they're doing it. So that's how I know it works. But he is a TI. He just came here and he just didn't know that it was on. And we told him, and he says, I'll have him talk about how he feels about it. Okay? So, but we haven't announced it again because we needed to test it because I don't know if the criminals can change the frequency to go
We did a newsletter.
above. I don't know much of the technological thing above or below it. And to the criminals that didn't let me sleep and the FBI criminals watching, we are coming for you. And there is no immunity
Yeah.
for the crimes against humanity you have perpetrated. We are gonna make you broke and we're gonna put you in jail. I promise, as long as I have a breath in my body, I'm gonna be fighting for that. You criminals. Anyway, back to the FOIA request. So it's important that at all times in your letter, you emphasize this is a Privacy Act request. Why? Because the Privacy Act is broader. The law clearly says you have a right to speak everything in the agency's possession about
You got
you.
your name or no?
Richard Lightfoot.
The law does not give the agency the authority to say, nah, I'm not going to look here. And that's what the criminal, Christopher Wray, and all those people did with
Okay.
the restricted and prohibited access files and Mary Garland. We're coming for them because they're gonna have to pay for this. So my recommendation, I did mine in paper. Why? Because first of all, I can keep a copy of it. Second of all,
Really want to stay longer?
I send it priority mail. Third of all, the FOIA in form
Watch the video.
online
They'll never get in.
Okay.
has a character limit. I think it's 5,000 characters. And as you can see from mine, and I'm going to read it to you, okay? I'm going to read what I can read to you about it. Well, mine is more than 5,000 characters, and so should you. Okay? So let me say, so what is different? I have said in my podcast before, what is different is that when they were answering, I cannot confirm or deny. That is before we had the revelations that there is the prohibited access and the restricted access that were uncovered, exposed by Chuck Grassley and journalist Margot Cleveland.
Not anymore.
Second of all,
Blacklist me or something.
the corrupt Michael Seidel that used to direct the FOIA office, and he created all the shenanigans to prevent us from getting the information. He either retired or is pushing papers somewhere else. We know that his minions are still in charge because he trained the minions to do his same criminality. However, thank you. However, when that's what this format is for. And I divided it in sections. Requester. This is a request under the Privacy Act and whatever. I specifically request that you include in your search all the files in the restricted files and prohibited access files within the Sentinel system. That is where criminal Christopher Wray hid all the information about targeting.
A lot of vehicles came in earlier.
I specifically request that you abstain from the practice implemented by former director of the FOIA office, Michael Seidel, of obstructing the production of records, falsely classifying as exempted documents that are not such. Why is this? Because we're not criminals. We are non-investigative subjects. So they cannot say, law enforcement. No, because they don't have probable cause on you. And the reason why I need you to file this really good Privacy Act request is because we need to set the stage. Okay? And in there, I also include in the example you have online, targetedjustice.com, activism, and the tabs that says how to fight back. There is no FOIA exemption for records that prove government corruption. Okay? Yeah, the criminals they decided to have today. When we got here, it was very noisy, but we'll try. And so I wrote the records requested may be associated to the following variations of my name. And why do I do that? Because I could be with my middle name, Ana Luisa Toledo, or Ana Toledo. So what you want to do there is if you had, for example, for women, if you were married and had your husband's name, well, you want to put,
Hello, TI.
hi,
Hi.
welcome.
Thank you. St. Louis. Coming from St. Louis. Wow.
St. Louis, yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
Food down.
a regular white rat, lab rat.
Well, we are lab, right?
COINTELPRO and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kale
Well,
fry.
would you agree to be in our little stream?
Sure.
Especially because I would like for you to talk about this, like if it made a little
If you're
difference. On,
comfortable, if you're not, it's okay.
yeah, he's comfortable.
Totally comfortable talking about it. I'm just worried that every time I leave, they tear my place up right now. Every time I leave.
promise you.
He's going to teach you how to do it. Okay, we're going to talk about that.
the house.
Anyways, so particularly for women that if you adopted a husband's name,
Well, I
you want to put, I have here all my, I never did that. I was always Ana Toledo. I never adopted my her husband name. But you want to put in there, see, I put my name,
That's basically.
Ana Luisa Toledo, or with my second last name. So you want to put all your aliases because you don't want to give these criminals an inch that, oh, we didn't find anything on you because it was on the other day. So this is how you say, this is how you do it. You put, and then you put your maybe emails under these emails and with your last four of the social security number. And then at the end, I put assigned terrorist screening center identifying number. I in the beginning of the FOIA of the Privacy Act, I put on behalf of the undersigned, Ana Toledo, born on this date. You want to specify your birthday because if there are these criminals when they are doing the research on you prior to the electronic harassment, prior to the gang stalking, they do a study on you to get your date of birth, to get everything, your name of your parents, everything. So you have to put your birth date in the beginning of the FOIA request, so they know that if it's John Smith, it's the John Smith, and that's why you need to specify the last four of your social security number in the requester. And then I added this, but you put through, and I don't know if this is in the sample. I said to ensure you respond thoroughly. And aside from the current address that I live in, at the top of this letter, I have lived in the following addresses.
Yeah, Ben.
So why is this? Because these criminals did FISA warrants on you,
Right now, like,
and they sent gang stalkers
all the main setup.
to do illegal searches and seizures and sneak and peek in your house. So they might have had these addresses of where you lived before.
Hard for.
So it might be a good idea for you. Remember, we're cornering them so that if they don't give you one document, then they cannot say, oh, I didn't know you. It was for the FISA that was executed in that address.
Chemical warfare, they
Okay.
spray chemicals on me.
Then definitions, you copy it from again, targetedjustice.com, activism. And as I wrote in my Mira, if you have problems, because I know this is complicated, we are recommending the professional services of Jill Amack, who is an editor
Boom.
and who has been going through this because the criminals wrote back to her, oh, no, your
If it's coming out of.
request wasn't specific enough.
We did it.
So she wrote back. So she's now experienced with that. And so the definitions, it includes everything, even text messages, everything.
That's it. Amazon.
And the records requested, well, I want all correspondence that I have sent to the FBI, all the correspondence that the FBI has sent to me, but you put your name there. All the FISA application and warrant, renewals obtained and executed against Ana Toledo from January 1st, 1996, which is when I think I first was put on the scope.
Yeah.
Until, and here's the thing, I put it until, and don't put it until this year. Put it until last year.
Oh, okay.
Because if they did the warrant until last year and they didn't find anything against you, it's going to be very hard for them to argue to a court of law that in a year they haven't filed charges against you. So I put my end date, July 1st, 2024. So when you do the FISA warrants, do it until last year. Don't include this year.
Constant investigation.
And I put in there, and every record generated, because when they go in there and take your stuff, they have to render a report. As a result of each one, including but not limited to the inventory of surveillance carried out and the summary of each. Include the affidavit and supporting documentation submitted in support of each Section 702 application.
You got a silent hit on you.
We know the criminals are going to say no. This is geared.
Here's on the terrorist thing game.
Keep your eyes on the prize. This is geared at the future. This is for those of you that play chess.
Silent hit, I think.
This is geared at what's coming.
They go.
We know the criminals are not going to want to give this. They don't want to tell them themselves
That will confirm that you're made by.
that they have been doing illegal surveillance on Americans, average Americans.
Information from the
But
police.
now that the whole thing exploded in Congress and they are demanding full investigations,
Bolingbrook Police Department there.
Full investigations.
Peters.
Okay, they did say no. Did you send, Jay, did you send the new one? Because in my case, they put me in a perfected backlog when I sent this one. So if you don't follow instructions, have you seen it on my postal devices? No, no. Okay. Anyways, I put in there all the sneak and peek warrants, all the FD 930 forms, which is your nomination form. They cannot say that they're not going to give it to you because it was done without due process, without notifying you, without giving you your Fifth and Sixth Amendment right to confront the evidence against you. FD 930 forms. All of that is listed there. Just adapt it carefully. Don't do it. And again, if you need help with that, you can hire Jill, and she will help you do that. See, this is what they answered to me. That my request is in a perfected backlog where it is waiting assignment to an analyst. Yeah. What that means is they need to consult with Mr. Patel because Mr. Patel and Ms. Bondi are telling Congress that weaponization has ended. And you and I know that that's not true. Look at my burnt face. Look, I have another burn somewhere around here. I don't even know where it is. These criminals are so dumb. They knew I was coming here today and that I was going to show you my burnt face because I'm not embarrassed. This is how stupid they are, and because of their stupidity and their arrogance, that's how they're gonna fall. Because they don't get it. The cat is out of the bag. The senator's information is out of the bag. Senator Hawley is not gonna stop. He has demanded investigations and prosecutions, and I hope that he empanels a new church committee to investigate these criminals. God knows we have been telling them about it. So that's what I have to cover for now. Okay, Washington again. So write to T-Justice 2 at proton.me and put Washington TI in there because I'm going to be making a list with your contact information to organize. My plan is because we need to be taking, live streaming and we need to be meeting, right? Because I want to have people with me in the meetings. I'm not just going to go by myself, not because I mean, I can do it. I just want to show that there are many of us with the same predicament. Like we had the really good meeting in Florida. I was like 14 of us. And, when you have a show of people, they can't say, no, these people, they can't be making it up. It's not the same, even though I have the receipts. So I want to touch on something that is really very painful. And it's, look, we are all susceptible to mind control. Even I am.
We're hitting it hard every day.
And in fact, terminals were counting on exerting. Hey, on the mind control. Armando's here because, for me to say and do things to disbar me. For example, they would put stupid people that have hurt me. Armando's here in my Twitter line or something to see if I would act on impulse and say you criminal. You colluded with the criminals, right? But guess what? Didn't work. Didn't work. Because one of the things, and I have written about this and I have taught you, you sometimes get an impulse to write something, but you sit on it. You don't send it. It's just going to come bite you in the butt. You write it. You don't send it. Same with emails. Well, there's some TIs that like to insult me and badger me because I tell them, no, you're not the most targeted person in the world. Most targeted, I know.
We do that 13 nights.
Called Lambert, Dr. Lambert, my beloved friend, because I have seen torture in action. Not I've seen anybody else.
But my concern with the.
And aside from that is I am working for everybody. I am not going
Well, I should.
because when I have to drop everything to focus on a person and give them my full attention, that means I am not giving my full attention to 6 million tortured persons.
$1.20.
So when I tell you, no, you're not the most, I don't need to see your evidence. I have seen plenty of evidence. I have seen Dr. Lemper being tortured in front of me.
Very easy to take that.
I need more evidence than that. What I need is to get to DC and fight for everyone. And I hope that those of you that can get mind control to come in and insult me in my own platforms, think about it twice, because you look like a fool when you do that. And I'm gonna block you anyways. So Armando, I'm gonna move here. Say hello to we have Armando here. You see the signal blocker, and you might be careful. This is such a tiny thing. But can you talk about this thing that I have here?
Oh,
I have this here going.
so do
Okay,
I.
this is how it is. Okay, you have it there. Okay, but I have it going with a battery. I have a battery, a really powerful battery that's going. So I need you to explain to them. I have said it's not available because we're testing it. But here, you can talk about it. Here, acomódate ahí bien, porque esto es una porquería. Pero esto lo compró
All right.
esto lo compró él.
How you doing, everybody?
Okay.
So
What is the range that covers?
this one's particular that we're testing, the range of frequencies or the range of the shielding.
Why does it cover okay.
Brainwaves.
Well, because it works off the LTE band close to Wi-Fi that I've recently found that they switched on my wife. My wife used to get hit with the 638 megahertz R&M, and lately we've been doing some signal elimination of that band at the house. So I guess they switched on us, and I had to figure out what they were using. And
Well, this, as we know, this is not working on everybody.
Right, it doesn't-
It's gonna better work on
right
because
now, the surveys that the questions I've asked a few, many of my customers, and I wasn't being specific, but I asked them if they were doing any kind of pharmaceutical drugs or any street drugs. They didn't have to specify. And for the ones that had no positive effect of my device, all of them were either taking pharmaceuticals or they were, on and off street drugs. So I think that has a big role on the targeting.
because of nanotech, right?
I believe in my opinion. In my opinion,
There's the pops.
now he got in the way. It's okay. But
So, yeah.
so yeah, I've in my opinion, I've been linking the pharmaceuticals and street drugs to easier targeting, or I don't know exactly what, but the chemical imbalance of the brain makes it easier for them to do what they do.
Yeah, because also what I found to be true, because before I discovered I was targeted, I supposedly had ADHD, but no, it's not ADHD. It's that they were distracting, right? So I took ADHD medication,
Right.
but I noticed that it was laced with something. It was
Could very well be.
like, so your pharmaceuticals that go to get to the store might be
Even over the counter. I mean,
jacked with,
right,
But the
Dr.
ones that
Lane.
are prescribed might be jacked with, and I have had many TIs tell me that their prescriptions are like messed with, right? And I remember, because I used to take ADHD medication, and I remember that I looked at the pill and I said, this doesn't look like the normal pill. They were lacing it with something. And then Richard told me that he knew of a TI whose ADHD medication was laced, it seems, with, what is it, fentanyl or something?
Yeah, they can lace some of these. We don't recommend taking ADHD drugs. They're for the long term. There's a lot of studies that suggest, and I'm not a doctor, but there's a lot of studies that suggest long-term use of ADHD drugs causes negative consequences for the brain. But I encourage you to look it up. If you go to the medical database under NIH. They've got an entire library of research papers. If you look up ADHD, long-term, very negative.
I am talking about them lacing them with fentanyl and
Yeah,
other
that-
things.
that's
Because I know mine were laced, because mine looked orange, like they're supposed to be peach color and they were orange color. So I know they were not the same. And they were like fat pills.
Well, there's different kinds.
I know.
They're merely different kinds of.
I looked them up in the pill finder. But would you like to be here?
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, okay. So please tell. Oh my God, look at Josie! Where did you come from?
Good to see you.
I came from home.
I know. I missed you last time. It's a pain because I can't do the.
Symposium.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah. No problem. Yeah.
Very informative.
So where did you come from?
Well, I'm from St. Louis. My name's Tim. I'm a targeted individual. I've been targeted for 20 years, and I am actively being hit with directed energy weekly, 3-4 times a week, in my home, on the road. So I'm a whistleblower exposing this directed energy weapons use here in America on the American population. Beatrice Gollum, a professor at UCLA and several universities out in California, has spoken to the fact that many Americans are being hit with directed energy weapons. It goes far beyond the diplomatic community. This just simply needs to be exposed. Even the victims of Stasi in East Germany have received compensation for the damage to their lives and received some kind of a monthly allowance for long-term damages. And also, I think every targeted individual in America should get all of their medical for them and their family for the rest of their lives.
Absolutely. That's one of the things that we want to, fight for. It's not just the physical damage, but also, the PTSD, the emotional damage that comes from being followed around. I mean, it's horrific. Being attacked. Yeah, it's being at war, and the stress level of constantly being looking over the shoulder to see who is trying to attack you is horrible.
I woke one morning, I couldn't stand, I had vertigo, I was deaf in my left ear, my eyes were hemorrhaging, and I had bitten down on my own teeth, fractured my teeth in my sleep. It's kind of
Yeah, that's how. Yeah. I want to talk about that. Let me talk about this a little bit because thank you for bringing that up. Okay, so everybody, all of you, should go to the drugstore and get yourself a night guard, right? Because you don't notice what you're gritting your teeth. And when the time I realized it, it was when I went to I had not gone to the dentist in a long time, and my friend dentist said, Anna, you have lost 40% of your teeth on the bottom because you're gritting your teeth. And so he told me, you have something called temporomandibular joint disorder. Look it up. It's not that. It's that they are making you grit your teeth, and all my teeth are cracked, all of them. So since you're unconscious when you're asleep, semi-conscious, you should definitely use, and then you buy them and you put them in hot water and you mold them to your teeth, and that's gonna protect them. Then I had the Invisaligns, and that's what I sleep with because it protects from the wearing out, the teeth wearing out.
You have cracked teeth. At least you still have yours. A lot of TIs, like me,
All of mine have a crack right in the middle.
I've lost already
But
a few.
I've lost a few too, and they are working hard.
Something to do with the fillings. I noticed, and I read.
Yeah, because they put RF chips everywhere, and I have all sorts of in my tongue. They slit my tongue and put implants in there. These disgusting. See, here's what I tell you all: you have to when I would walk my dog in Old San Juan. There was this where the mailman, the green mailboxes where they put the stuff that it's not for you to put mail, but like they store things there.
Right.
So it was all full of graffiti, and it had this one sticker that I never forget, and it used to say, "Keep your eyes on the prize." And that is exactly what I have to ask you all to do. Do not dwell in the past, because it's one of the tactics the criminals use to make you sad. Do not dwell in the past
Waste your time.
and waste your time. You have to live in the here and the now. Right here, right now, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay.
And the best way to deal with the following gang stalking is to make a game out of it, a cat and mouse. That's what I do. Uh,
Can you explain how?
yeah.
Because you have all these,
Well,
feeling things.
even without this, I would play cat and mouse. I would, if I had some extra time and an extra gas to burn, I would purposely try to lose them, and I would time to see how long it would take for them to find me. Um, and that kind of took the whole stress of being followed out of the equation and made it into kind of a game. Um, if you got a lot of people that follow you, I mean, with me, when they first started following me, they ended up having to put a whole bunch of people on me because of the way I would drive and the way I would lose them. Yes, sir. Um, so anywhere I go now, they have a whole team following me. It's just to keep up. Lately, not so much. This morning was pretty good, and
Yeah,
yesterday,
I think that the government shutdown, this one of the good news for us is this: the government shutdown. I think that has put a lot of these gang stalkers without funding, because there's nobody to, give them the gift cards. And the good thing also is that a lot of people are getting fired. And I say that as a good, because right now I see the government as a huge operation that has been weaponized, and it has too many employees. And here's the thing: the excess of employees is what proves, the gas stalking we get is what proves the excess of employees. Because if you had employees truly, genuinely doing what they have to do, they wouldn't be stupidly following around innocent Americans that do not meet probable cause or reasonable suspicion. That is government fraud, waste, and abuse, aside from criminality. So I think that the first people that should be fired are the ones that cannot explain what kind of job do you do. Well, they're not going to admit they're criminals. So out with them, and I'm happy about that. Uh, yeah, they are ridiculous. They are absolutely ridiculous. Um, okay, so why does this, Armando? Why does this? Because this originally you created it for B2K, but why does it work with the W band?
well, because it works on both of the Wi-Fi frequencies, the
What are those?
2.4 gigahertz and 5.2 and 5.8, which we know that a lot of the W band, a lot of the ISM, the industrial, scientific, medical, use that band for sensors, or in medical field, it would be biometric implants to report back to to the doctor of biometrics. But
Has your body cam reduced the gang stalkers?
body cam does help reduce gang stalking, but I mainly wear it to just in case I get another chance of getting pulled over. I might get another
Admission.
admission to the silent hit. Uh,
So you recommend people while they're driving they should wear one.
right.
Here,
It's just a simple, cheap.
buy it off the shelf, right?
Yeah, buy it off the shelf. Don't order it online.
Jill was telling me that where do you buy it, because she tried to get it in Nebraska and she couldn't find it.
The malls have spy store, like little spy stores, and they sell a lot of spy gadgets. So you can get them there. Um, if you do, have to order online, try to get it from eBay or
No Wi-Fi, right?
no, yeah, no Wi-Fi. This doesn't have any Wi-Fi
SD
ever.
card.
Just SD card and that's it. Um,
And explain about your silent hit, how the cop stopped you. Explain to the people.
right. So I was I had a expired registration for almost a year, and I was getting pulled over in 1 month. I got pulled over 4 different times, and on that third time, and every single time I would tell him, "Hey, you're probably going to get a silent hit on me, and my name's probably going to be on the TSDB." And the other three denied it, but that one
Said, yeah.
say, yeah. And then he says, I'm not going to mess with you, man. You know what's going on. So obviously he knows.
He admitted it.
Well, he knows what the BS around the whole
Criminality.
right. So
Yeah, he was a nice man.
yeah, he was. Pretty sure he wasn't too happy after I posted that online, but it needed to be put out there.
Yeah, so you just have to be clever about it.
Yeah.
It's I used to say, here's one of the tactics that I used to say when I was unsure of something. I would say like a lie because I wasn't sure of it. It's like I remember in college, I had a boyfriend and I told him, "Why didn't you tell me that you slept with so and so?" And I didn't. I wasn't sure of that. But then he said, "Yeah, I told you." And I'm like, "No, but you didn't know." So that's when I say you tell a lie to get a truth. And so that's why pretty much you did with a.
Not a lie. It's just
not
a
a
it's just
lie,
a version of the
it's
truth. A version
Well,
of
I
the
had a gut feeling, but the only lie was that he hadn't told me, but then at that moment he did, so it already became true. Okay, so yeah, body cams are really good because
You never know when you
it
need it.
it deters the criminals are allergic to cameras. They really are.
Especially non-wireless type.
Yeah, and especially because with all the facial recognition, we might not have the name of the criminal chasing us around, but they have everybody on facial recognition,
Yep.
and they have to admit to it. And I think that's that is gonna happen. They're not gonna be able to deny it because I'm sure that all these confidential human sources, they must have a file on each one, and they must have invested and a picture of them, and invested just like a personal file. So they're gonna have to match our pictures, your body cam stuff, with the criminal that is being paid by the FBI. Because remember one thing, under Mary Garland, there was a memo of otherwise illegal activity. And Eva, I have to thank Eva, she was the one that put it out there. So the Department of Justice, just like the candidate for Attorney General in Virginia, who was saying that he wanted this person and his children dead, and he's the one that would be supposed to be prosecuting any
really?
death. Yeah, in Virginia, he's a Democrat. That's how much of a criminal he is. Well, the same here. DOJ was saying otherwise illegal activity, but they were paying for it. And guess who was against us? So that's one item that you can put also in that Privacy Act request. What otherwise illegal activity was perpetrated against me? Just as it was authorized by Merrick Garland's Department of Justice. That's another criminal that needs to go to jail. And I just want to mention, because Jasmine Crockett went around saying that even if a person committed a crime, he wasn't a criminal. Even people convicted of crimes, she's just so low IQ. But I say the other way around. Even if people like Christopher Wray have not been convicted of crimes, I can say he's a criminal because he knows about these programs and he allowed it to continue. And not only that, he shielded the truth from the court.
And this is
And
the
Michael Glasheen, who is a liar, and Patel promoted him, and he's a liar. You know why he's a liar? Because even though Charles Cable, as soon as we filed the lawsuit, 2 weeks later retired from the FBI. He ran like a chicken that he is. Substituted months later by Michael Glasheen. And under the federal rules of civil procedure, the federal rules of appellate procedure, and the rules of the Supreme Court, the Merrick Garland criminal Department of Justice had an obligation we informed the court that Charles Cable, since January, had left the case, had left the FBI terrorist screening center, and they did not. And Michael Glasheen, in collusion with them, kept quiet. And that is why I have, because they lied to the court. Michael Glasheen lied to his court, and his attorneys lied to the court. And that is for something that Pam Bondi needs to look into and take the necessary measures. Because even though the lower attorney, the youngest one, supposedly is no longer there, her supervisor, I think, is still there. Pam Bondi needs to look into that. That's why I'm going to DC. Because I'm going to go knock on doors, and I'm going to go ask questions, and I'm going to ask for appointments. And as a citizen that's living there, they have to listen to me. It's not the same thing when you come for a week as if you're living there. That's why I am going to make a sacrifice, freeze to death, because here's what the criminals do. Since I have W ban, so like the normal cold, let's say it's 40 degrees that people can stand with a cold, what they do is they attack my implants to make it feel colder from inside. So yeah, but it's okay because after everything they have done to me, they can't do much more.
And you got plenty of shielding.
Yeah, shielding. I have this going on.
I'll make sure to send you
Yeah,
away with a few of them.
I have it now. Do you want to talk about your new SilentKnight?
I can.
Okay, explain what is different from your new SilentKnight.
It's
Sorry about that. Put it here. Is it okay?
Yeah, you're good.
Is it going?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
You're good. You're good. Ahí está. Well, the new SK, same price as the old one. For anybody that has the second gen, the box like this, you can get updates. Send it in for updates.
What is different?
It's much more silent as far as the arcing, and it's a little bit more wide banded, even though it's already wide banded as it is. But the output power has been increased to cover a larger radius of shielding. So
Do you have anything else?
it's much quieter, runs a lot cooler, um, and it's pretty much foolproof.
Okay.
The adjustment is not much to adjust for somebody to get it just right.
You can this one.
But
Don't take it to
so yes, the new SK is like I said, the same price. It's the radius of shielding is a little bit bigger, a little bit further.
1 minute.
And
Take this
it's a
one.
lot quieter for those that don't like the loud, the older version that are really loud.
Okay.
The new ones don't have the antennas. It's all internal, and
Well,
for the most part, it's
what I've
been my best one yet. So
More like a
that being said, you can try
when I get
taking a look at some videos I have on my website at targetsourcellc.com. That's targetsourcellc.com to check out the signal analyzer with the new SK.
Okay. Thank you, Mondo. Yeah, you guys have no idea what it is to feel surrounded by sharks. It's okay. They're more afraid of me. I'm not afraid of them. They can't touch me. My house. Is there anything else that you want to add?
So we want to emphasize the flyers for folks that want things to do that you can help. We've got a list on our website under how to fight back. If you go to our website and there's a tab that's called activism, and under activism, there's a tab called how to fight back. We've got a couple of flyers that we really want to encourage you. If you've got time, you can keep these in the car. You can distribute them, particularly the medical flyers.
I've given them to every cop that ever pulled me over.
Particularly to the people that are heavily gang stalked. This really helps gang stalking, right?
That it does. If you keep some of these in your car, actually the criminals are more inclined to leave you alone because you have these flyers. So we encourage you to always keep some of these in your car. When you pass an urgent care clinic, you can walk in and drop one on the receptionist desk and just say, could you please share this with your doctors and nurses? That's all you have to say. You don't have to go into a long dissertation. Just say, could you please share this flyer with your doctors and nurses? We encourage you to do that because you pass urgent care clinics on every day of the week. We want to encourage folks to keep doing that.
It does help.
It does help. It does get the word out.
If the cops are harassing you and you start giving it to the cops, they'll definitely stop messing with you.
Stop, right?
Yeah, they generally don't stop me, but we do know that many TIs do get routinely stopped. So,
But they don't stop you because you have these.
yeah, I think that's part of the reason is because they know I've got them in my car. So, for whatever message comes up on their,
I like this one. This one, CIA torture. This one is particularly useful for when you travel. For when you travel, you put it in your suitcase, and the TSA people won't mess with your suitcase.
yeah, that's a nice little tip. So if you are traveling, we recommend you just put one of these flyers on right when you open the lid. That flyer is right there, and TSA will never even open your suitcase. That's what we found.
Speaking of TSA, they did a test, and they're able to get through like 85% of contraband through the TSA.
Yeah, they're useless because they're stupid DEI hire criminals. That's what they are. And by the way, I already did a FOIA request on TSA, which I urge you all to do it for those of you that travel, because I invoked, and I'm going to put it in my mirror, I invoked that if they publicized the surveillance they did on Tulsi Gabbard while flying, they put the list of the flights and even the comments on everything, they have to give it to us too. If they gave it to her, they have criminals. You're gonna have to slap me here on the back because some of these criminals are attacking the implant on my back. Okay, is there anything else there that you have to say?
We get a lot of the same questions every week, and very simple, basic question, typically from new TIs that just found us. And I really want to encourage the TIs,
Well, you want to try the other one?
the older TIs to
That's high
help
low.
the newer TIs.
That
The
has high-
guys that are just
The
going up.
other one is
Some
really.
could have been targeted for
No.
5, 10, 15 years, and they're
Don't need
just
it.
now finding a group, and you can help them. And
That's
the
fine.
way you do that is
Hello,
by
percent.
sending them to the newsletter or the website. And particularly in the newsletter, there's a magnifying glass that lets you search through all of our newsletters that we've done. And you can search for gang stalking to find helpful tips about gang stalking, V2K to find out what how the technology works and the information that we've provided. Any topic that's related to get to TIs is in our newsletter. If it has to do with TIs, we've covered it in our newsletter. We've got almost 700 newsletters now that have been published. We've covered every topic there is, and we've got some helpful tips for you. So I encourage you, if you're looking for specific information on any TI issue, go to targetedjustice.substack.com and search for it, because we've already covered it many times. Details about how the vercators work, the patents that are used, how the cell towers work, how digital beamforming works, the integrated circuits that are used for digital beamforming. We've got copies of those. You can look it up. It's all in our newsletter. So whatever topic you want to look up, it's right there. Just go look for the magnifying glass in our newsletter and type in whatever it is that you're looking for, and you'll find a number of newsletters where we've already covered that topic. Very easy to use, and you're not going to find that anywhere else. So try that if you're looking for specific information.
Okay, so for the people that got here late, I'm not wearing any makeup because I wanted to document how the criminals burnt my face, thinking that I wasn't
Me
gonna.
neither.
Yeah, thinking that I was not gonna come here, but no, and they didn't let me sleep. But yeah, I made it, and the important thing is showing up, right? Showing up, and that's what we're gonna do in DC. That's what I am gonna do in DC, and I am counting on your support because as I said, I do not derive a salary,
And prayers.
and there where okay, here's the thing. Sammy, that's a great question. You should know that your house has microphones and cameras. So whenever you
Smart meter.
and no, but she's asking how do they know? They're asking how do they know that you have the flyers, right? So, in
Vote you're monitoring. That's how they go.
yeah, but as we have said many times, the Space Force criminals don't talk to the local criminals. But what we did was that when I was making the suitcases, I was screaming real hard, "Here, let's put this for TSA,"
They do.
because I know they were listening.
They do like to use
They
the
did
laser
not touch it.
eavesdropper.
Okay. So that's how, and also because the first time you give the flyer to a cop, which I have done, then the word gets around to them. They know that we have flyers in the car, and then they did it to me only once. Did a silent hit on me once. Never again. So once you give the flyer, they know it's like probably in their computer says don't stop them. That's what I think.
I was passing out flyers about 4 or 5 years ago. About 4 years ago, to cops that were in the parking lots in my town, and I was driving around with expired registration for 2 years, and they never did anything to me.
There you go.
I got pulled over in a different town, Pasadena, and they gave me a ticket, so I had to get the registration finally. But
Now, I'm going to give you an idea for those of you that are going to the city councils to talk for the 3 minutes. I think that you can warn them that they can be liable under the Civil Rights Act, 42 U.S. Code, 1983. And why is that? Because if their police and sheriffs are funding the gun stalking aspect of this program,
And I didn't even use these words.
the city might become liable. And this is where I say to all of you,
right,
the moment that this is exposed, it's not just the federal government that is going to have to pay. You're going to have city councils,
but you know,
sheriff's offices,
County sheriff.
medical
and I've had
doctors, surgeons,
Missouri County
hospitals,
Sheriff tell me too. Actually,
psychiatrists, because that's one of the things that we
they came
really
over
need
my alarm.
to emphasize. And I urge you all, you can look in my media.
Did you get a lot of gang stalking calls?
I have, I wrote an article where I, mira, no me muevas la mesa porque esta cosa se mueve. Thank you.
About 15 years.
Este,
Aaron Stewart.
I advocate for the medical malpractice lawsuits against
She asked him, could you-
psychiatrists that don't do the research about the technology, that don't know what's going on in terms of these directed energy weapons,
I'm sorry,
but
I can't
diagnose you as schizophrenic. And that is coming because when this is exposed, and it is exposed that it was the criminals at the CIA pulling the trigger of all those mass shooters,
A big ass file.
it's going to be exposed that all those psychiatrists that readily
Was it like a head?
diagnosed you as psychotic or schizophrenic
So the list was on.
are going to have a legal
Right.
problem.
I would imagine. It's
And
on
you're
the
going to
computer
tap
now.
into their medical malpractice insurance. Okay? So, yeah. Yeah, we have the perps next to us, if that's what you're referring to. But you know what? Let them get paid because it's going to be.
Every dollar,
You see the perps right there?
every
It's okay.
every dollar that's spent on your targeting is recorded on who got it.
Exactly. They have a ledger on you. And that's why when I file my lawsuit, I'm going to say, like in the Bible, I don't want a specific dollar amount. I want 7 times what they spent on torturing me. And the reason I can do that is because I know this InfraGard guy that told me they have spent over $1 billion on you. And he's an InfraGard person. So
Yeah, oh, they spend that.
if he lied, well, he'll have to lie on their oath. And so again, this we're gonna see. This is how it looks, and I don't leave home without it. Just like I don't leave home without my sapper that I have to sap myself now because they're attacking my back. But this is liberating because it disables the stupid infrastructure they put inside my body, even though it's temporarily. So I hope one day I burn them for good. I'm not saying it's completely painless, but these criminals have gotten me used to pain and have gotten you used to pain. So if it just alleviates, like sometimes I'll get the hip pain because the criminal surgeon in January of 2020 installed something in this right hip. So when I start getting that pain, I know I feel it when I go to Kroger's. Somebody hits me with their phone, and it's a Wi-Fi frequency or Bluetooth. So the sapper just
Disables.
disables the pain immediately, you know.
Yep.
So it's a little electric shock, but it's not.
Nothing like a taser.
But it's nothing like having hours of pain there. Same with the ones in my legs that are, that are. So look, I just share it because it works for me. And I don't want, if it works for me, it could work for some of you. Let me see some of the comments. Uh, I think they're blocking. No, I see you. I see you. The thing is, yeah, 1 billion. That was told to me by an infra guardman in November of 21. Imagine how much more they've spent so far. Listen, the problem is this. I want you to appreciate. I cannot have the phone horizontal, and the comment section. I can only see one comment at a time. I apologize. But this, I couldn't find the little thing. Is there? Look at her. Look at her. Is that it? Okay. Anyway, I wanted Joey to come on. Can you ask Joey to come on? Because Joey has good
Joey?
things always.
Feel like talking about some of your cases? Just a brief summary.
Tim, you want to come over? Okay. And also, you can talk about just how that feels a little bit. Okay. So here is Joey, our star TI from Houston. See if you are there. If it focuses well on him.
Yep.
There.
There you go.
There you go.
Hi, everybody. I'm Joseph Calderera, and I'm from Houston, Texas, and I've been targeted since 2010. It's been 15 years, so it's pretty unbelievable to think, for me, how much of my life has been consumed by this. And, my story, is going through law school in the midst of all of this, being in the legal community, meeting researchers and law dean who backed us up, having about 95% of the legal community on our side. However, and this is a big however, is that 5% that are viciously corrupt. This was a matter of fact. I'm going through law school and I'm trying to get the top grades, but this group is hacking into the law school, stealing the exams before, so this has been going on since, in the legal community. And so, we've been talking about, why is our success being hindered in the courtroom? And, what's that all about? What is this lawfare, right? What is this tiny sliver of lawyers who are in the Department of Justice, who are at the state level? What are they about, and what are they doing? And so I think the perfect example was whenever Anna Toledo filed the case. The case was marred with corruption and erroneous statements of fact, erroneous statements of law. I mean, you can even, this is the type of thing, I've never seen this before. This is an emergent problem where lawyers are like seriously obstructing justice, and they should be seriously disbarred. If not, punished with the full force of the law for misleading the court and causing the judge to come out with these really bizarre out. This is happening everywhere. I found out. So my case has involved a doctor who busted my mom's knee. I'm here to help you break your knee. Broke her back in an assisted living facility. We're here to assist you in your life, as now that you're 80 years old, as they dropped her and broke her spine. And then in one instance, I got arrested after calling the police in a fight. So I'm the victim, and they completely, flipped the switch. So now I'm trying to defend myself. And in this case, I'm going to jail, an assault charge. And here they are saying, deliberately switching the facts. And and then being afforded a public defender who doesn't come to be your voice. And so I have a long string of suits against the state of Texas for this level of corruption that is taking place. So here I'm working at the state level, and I was just showing Richard my cases are going very well. In the 359th District Court here in Houston, or in Montgomery County in Texas, I was able to adjudicate one of their contracts. Sometimes, in the criminal justice system, what they do is they mass incarcerate, they railroad you, right? That is to say that they will trump up charges or switch the facts or misapply the law and force you into a plea bargain contract. And there you are admitting guilt and having all the consequences of life, them knowing that you're
That happened to the
innocent.
J6ers.
Okay, J6ers are a perfect example. This is them maliciously prosecuting as per the malicious prosecution statute here in Texas, no probable cause with actual malice, knowing of innocence, knowing, so I have this case and it's in the 359th and now the Ninth Court of Appeals here in Texas, and it is going so well. The judges are on my side. Um, I've gotten the award of costs and fees for a judgment that the other side is frivolous. Just very powerful words about avoided contract, about frivolous defenses and frivolous motions being filed by these types of lawyers. A determination that the other side is being obstructive. And then, of course, at the appellate level, I have one award in my favor for costs and fees. And this is important because the way that they're subrogating is they're trying to make the victim pay, like loser pays, right?
Yeah.
So this is now a reversal of that. And, at a later
Great.
time, right, just to get the costs and fees that you owe me or my mom in these cases. So that's where I am. I have four very powerful judgments in four courts here in Texas. And so hopefully that just paves the way for,
That's
judicial
good.
success. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen a difference in the past year of their behavior?
Of
Like in the past year, like have you seen any difference from like the year before, like last year, in terms of the handling of the cases? Have you seen a difference?
depends on where you are. The courts are being run over by lawyers. Let's put it this way: there's a corrupt core of lawyers that know how to run over the court, and you have to be aggressive, okay? In the sense that you have to stick with your story. If the other side is lying, just say it. That's a total lie, and I'm not budging. You are committing fraud. Because the worst thing that you can do is merge with their story. You need to be adversarial, right? The
Yeah.
worst thing you can do is concede, right? Yield to them and you yield to your own demise because these were not real arguments. These are not real facts, and they want the court and everybody to merge to this false narrative. So in answer to Anna's question, do I see a difference? I do see a difference. I do see some lawyers, some judges are becoming aware of this, and other judges appear to be participating in it. So there's both a bettering and a worsening at the same time. Then it becomes, to me about, segregating, right? You have the centrifuge. We need to segregate the good lawyers from the bad. We need to segregate, the people who are there to genuinely serve the interest of justice. Because in this lawfare, right, you have fighters for justice like us, and you literally have agents of injustice. They celebrate when the case results in an obstruction of justice and a miscarriage of justice. That's what they want. That's what they call a win. It's pure evil, and that is the environment of the battlefield of the courts at this point in time. So,
Did this do anything for you?
okay, so what I felt immediately was a change in the pressure. After a couple of minutes with this device here, you feel the pressure kind of release in a way, and you kind of get this like a little bit of like silence. Like it's definitely very comforting. So as for signal jamming, I don't know that I guess it jams signal, right? But in terms of relief, and I've been doing this for about 15 minutes now, I definitely notice a difference in like the acoustic signature in my head because in my head I have a very loud and debilitating audible frequency at 15,000 hertz or something, right? Something that's like
Right on the beginning of ultrasound.
the beginning of ultrasound. So it's still audible. And then I guess, with the V2K, there's another one, a VHF. You can't hear that, but that creates the pressure. the one that transmits to the cell towers or the satellites. That would be a
The carrier.
yeah, the carrier frequencies, a UHF or VHF or an EHF, and I don't know which one it is, but the one that modulates the brain is a torture. It's torture, right? It causes my eyes to bulge out, causes my face to swell. It's on 24/7. In the middle of the night while people are out partying and dancing. I'm suffering from this 15,000 hertz in my head, and I can't dance, because I'm in literal, mental pain. So this definitely, I felt like this alleviated that audible part, which is for me the most disturbing part, because you can't transmit electromagnetic waves into somebody's head, and get away with that. That's clearly under today's laws torture by any under.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's torture. And that's exactly.
Doing it to everybody.
And that's what, we have been talking about that, we do, these criminals are so stupid. I've had dogs and cats, and they just brought a corgi just like mine to bring me back to my suffering of having lost her, because the criminals tortured her, and they made tumors in her. And so there's two different dogs here, one corgi and one that looks like a papillon. That a woman that worked for Abbott Pharmaceutical, she was an accountant, she was my neighbor, and she ran over my dog, my little papillon. Fortunately, here's the thing.
It's more pronounced when I'm at home alone.
Registry records, they're there forever. You cannot delete them. I will come and knock on her door, even if she sold the property. I'm gonna sue her because she did it intentionally. And that is why you have to be very vigilant and continue journaling. And you should name your journal.
I don't hear him at all.
Keep the eyes on the prize.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start hearing.
Yeah.
Because it's happening.
They'll be like,
And like I said,
Yeah.
I got tired of
monitor
my
what you're
communications
doing.
being intercepted by these criminals
Thoughts on,
and my beautiful letters
the
and my activism. So I'm gonna go there so they can sabotage.
star.
Like we say, they cannot
like,
hack analog.
Penny
I know they cannot hack analog. and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
This little thing here, this is analog.
relationship with the world.
100% analog, no digital components.
It was that
They cannot hack it. They have tried, they can't.
Your reality before you can
And
interact.
when it does have a little digital component, they can.
That's what it does. They
So that's why when you get your TENS unit,
it's just like
that I like to wear it in my ears, because it disrupts, in the ears. Look at it. Okay, so I'm gonna show you something really weird. See this is part of like the antenna network. You see how my ears don't look normal? Like they have this protruding thing. Well, my ears are, they put stuff in there. This one is a big antenna here. You see it? And so when I put the TENS unit pads there, it's really, really good for bringing me back. Like if I am in a sad, emotional thing or unconcentrated. So for those of you that have this kind of problem, I urge you can wear the TENS, and then maybe you can wear a band to put them in place, the TENS pad, but do not get digital ones, because the criminals will damage them in a second. And also, if you go out in public with them, they will give you a jolt that it's going to be very painful. So you don't want to have digital ones, okay? Let me see if you have any questions or any comments, because I'm going to be closing this. Canada, don't, Darlene. Listen, right now, there's an MK Ultra lawsuit going on in Canada. And while it is true that the court allowed the criminals of the CIA to get out of
Totally
it,
different search
you're
results.
still going against the medical institution.
I don't ever use Google.
Remember, in our situation, the people harvesting our data,
I know Yandex is pretty good. Yeah.
the research institutions that are stealing our data, they are going to be liable because it was done without our consent.
Yep. I was with that.
And it is
You never.
a Fourth Amendment violation because it was done in conjunction with criminals, government, DARPA, and NIH.
It's like
So
carrot,
there you have the
you know?
component of the civil rights violations. Okay? So please keep on journaling and keep on
I am.
most
I'm
most
just to say.
most importantly, be very observant.
With the Palantir.
You know, you have to be really observant because that is what makes a big difference.
Privacy.
It makes a huge difference when
Here at NPS,
writing, for example,
provide-
your Privacy Act request. You need to be very observant and
Yeah, no,
think
definitely.
make.
I was
I want a ledger of the money spent. You can look it up there. You know, if there is one particular person that you
Axiom
think
Defense Laboratory.
is
Was the other one?
activating your implants or in any way affecting you, you put in there, I want to know any compensation given to this person as it relates to Ana Toledo. The honeypots, I put them in mine. I said, I want to know what compensation was given to this person as it relates to Ana Toledo. You know, now they know that we know.
Oh, I'm sure Alex
And
Jones.
that's what
blown that shit
matters.
up.
There is a whole net.
No, the thing he's probably blowing that shit up on.
Yeah. Well, Scott,
But anyway.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They like to. These criminals are such sexual deviants. They want, if you're straight, they want to make you gay. If you're
Yeah.
gay, they want to rape you. I mean, they're just so disgusting. They're just so disgusting. So, they were trying to do that to me, but I like men too much, so I used to. Oh, it didn't work. What they used to do to me was just so disgusting. No, no. The glasses. It is silly Sally. Don't go for that. That's fear mongering. Don't go for the whole glasses thing. It's look. One of the things that I really urge you to do is not be obsessed with every video that any idiot puts up there saying that, fear mongering. It doesn't do you right. It doesn't do you good. It's only a waste of time. Spend your time doing productive things like your Privacy Act request, like writing to your congressperson saying, I want a meeting in my district. Okay. Like going and giving flyers to to emergency health facilities. Don't waste your time watching those things because most of these people, when you look at them, they don't even have credentials. They're not engineers. They're not people that have a specialty. When you think about it, you just have to take. My mom used to say, you take things from where they come. So if I have this retard giving a speech on something, well, I'm not going to pay attention because he's a retard. He doesn't have a PhD on whatever. Even people that have PhDs, like, for example, there's this professor in the University of Pennsylvania that has taken a lot of money from the industry, from the cell tower and cell phone industry. Well, he says that Havana syndrome doesn't exist. Of course, he has a conflict of interest. So even people with degrees, you might not have to listen to them because their financial interest and conflict of interest is at stake. And there are a lot of people that are placed to make these videos to make you afraid because do not forget, the criminal's goal is to have you in a constant state of anxiety, sadness, depression, discombobulated. That's what they want you to be. And when you watch these videos, that's what you get. You get all discombobulated because you get all worried. Oh my God, they're uploading my brain to the cloud. Don't go there. Okay? Do you have anything else to add?
If you're worried about getting your brain uploaded to the cloud, get the SK.
Why? What does it do?
It'll corrupt any data they get off your body, your biosensors. It puts off a lot of digital RF noise, also, even though it's analog. Puts up a lot of just injects a lot of noise into the area around you. That
And at the very least, it damages their data, right?
I
That's
doubt.
why I love it because it damages the data that they get from my input.
Just like they corrupt our SD cards and mess up our data on our computers and hack our phones, we could do the same with the data they get off us.
What's your website?
Again, it was targetsourcellc.com, targetsourcellc.com. You can go on there and sign, go to the waiver, top right of the website, fill out the waiver, and then email us or give us a call. I put my number
Email
out there.
where? Because the people tell me that they cannot get a hold of you.
The email is on there.
Is there?
Yes.
Okay. It's not getting hacked?
I checked it last night, and everything seems
Okay.
to be okay. I have my phone number on there. When you try to call, text first, because we do have a lot of planes that fly low that I believe are doing the illegal stingray and surveillance. So I try to protect my contacts.
Can you explain how you are protecting your data from the criminal stingray and the stingrays?
Right. So
So that they do it, because people are constantly on their phone and they need to understand they need to turn it off.
you turn off
Right.
your phone and put it in a Faraday bag, and it'll. That's how you keep it safe. Keep your devices from getting hacked. Um, I know some people have to, use their phone for work, but for the most part, watching those videos that it's just gonna be a bunch of fear mongering. Don't waste your time. Put your phone away and put it in a Faraday bag. That way, the criminals cannot get what they are looking for, which is hacking into your device and getting all your data. Data mining. So,
Now explain why this is a better idea than a smartphone
well,
in terms of what they can do with your brain.
the flip phones, you can actually pull the battery out, which is the older phones. Pull the battery out. So
But what you were telling me about how communicating with your brain.
right, so AT&T has a patent back in 2018 that is able to read your biometric brain waves and able to manipulate your brain waves through your cell phone. So that was 2018. Imagine what they could do now and how easy they can do it. This is why they've started coming out with sealed phones where you can't take the battery out, because even when it's off, the smartphones, it's still transmitting. I have checked it with my analyzers and my EMF. It still transmits small uh, pulses, which I imagine is a geolocation when it's off. So Faraday bag, get a good Faraday bag. Don't go cheap on the Faraday bag. There's a lot of them out there that don't work. Um,
And
and
keep it off as much as
keep it off as
only
much as
turn
possible.
it on when you're going to use it.
Right. So if you text my number, that'll be the best way to contact me. Um, for the most part, lately I've been getting most people that have been contacting me. They've been getting through.
Look at her.
Uh,
She looks just like my Gigi. Is this perping or what? Exactly like my Gigi. Total perping. It's okay. Sorry about that.
it's okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay. So right, um, if you text that number, my number on the website, um, I will get back to you and I'll give you a call when the text comes in. I check the phone periodically throughout the day. Uh, I use the flight radar app to see if there's any planes around, just to keep your contact info safe from them. Because as soon as they get my recent contact from my phone, they're able to block. They're able to know who I'm talking to, and they're able to block communications between us, which was happening just last month and prior. Uh, Around April is when it started. But lately, since I've been doing this, they've really pissed them off, putting the phone away in the Faraday bag. Um, but if you don't need a smartphone, I highly suggest to get just an old style flip phone that has removable battery.
Okay. Just I keep this phone off, particularly because the 5G, the jammer doesn't cover 5G, right?
No, that's just Wi-Fi.
It's only Wi-Fi. So I know that today I'm gonna suffer the consequences because this is a 5G phone, and it doesn't let me turn it off. I'm gonna give it to you to see if you can turn off with 5G on
The
it.
iPhone.
It's an iPhone.
Touch iPhone.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I boycott Apple.
Yeah. I stopped wearing glasses. Okay. Let me check. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll be waiting for you on Wednesday for the gavel. I'm always collecting information for the news, for the good news that are happening, because do not let anybody tell you the contrary. Good things are happening, but we need to force them. That's why I'm going to DC. because we need to force them to happen. So don't let them get you down, because that is the goal of this program, to um, to bring you down and make you sad. So if you get down, I urge you go watch my gavel for this week, which has a lot of hopeful information about about the good things that are
I don't know
happening.
why, but
Don't let them win. Don't let them win.
They're retired, yeah.
Check your comment.
I don't know.
Um,
No?
yeah, it's targetsourcellc.com. Targetsourcellc.com. Okay. Yeah, look. Try to maintain your phones off as much as possible, because having them.
Oh, yeah.
So they need.
Okay, Darlene, I hear you. Okay, many of us are in a bad situation, because, but you have to look at this thing.
Ooh.
They have not been able to bring us down. We are walking
So-
miracles. You are a success story.
And going down.
For today, just say, I'm okay. I'm
My
good.
didn't go off at all.
Okay, that's all I can tell you, because that's how I live my day,
No,
one day at a time.
After I left.
One day at a
over
time.
here, going crazy.
Okay, I
it
spent
was
a lot of money before. I,
It was weird. I'm like, what?
gave my life
Yeah.
to Jesus. I would go to all these
I think there's only like three people following.
new age.
Usually it's
At
like
Chopra, I met him, and I went to all these
every
things.
night.
And at the very least, I did learn
Maybe-
one
maybe
thing,
a lot.
and it's the following:
But I do see what you mean about
live one day at a time.
a lot of them.
Don't worry about tomorrow. Do not cry about yesterday. And believe it or not, that helped me a lot. And for those of you, sorry to repeat myself, by yourself, read. You can probably read it for free online. Man's Search for Meaning. It's a great book, and it's a book that teaches you that when you have a purpose, you find a way. It's a psychiatrist that survived the Holocaust.
Oh, yeah.
concentration camp. So I really urge you. That's one of the books that has brought me all the way here.
Yes.
When you have a goal, and we have a goal of exposing this and of demanding to be whole again. Okay?
You're
Flight Radar is good. Yeah, they're blocking their tail numbers, and they are blocking also. They turn off sometimes,
Not all.
but sometimes they turn off their
ESP
Very-
transponder.
their transponders, so that you hear them out there on the sky, but you don't see them in the computer. Those are the really guilty ones. But it'll all be known. It'll all be exposed. Okay. Let me see. Eileen, Alan.
The planes weren't that bad in the afternoon. In the morning, they're kind of on and off. And then
Yeah,
after
oh, you
they
see,
stop.
oriented police. Yes, citizen courts, neighborhood watch. But Viktor Frankl, yeah, Alan. Viktor Frankl is the author. Man's Search
Like
for
it's
Meaning. Okay,
semi-cloudy.
it's a tiny
I
book,
a little bit.
very short,
But
it comes out of the precept
gonna get
from Friedrich Nietzsche that says, "What doesn't kill me makes me stronger."
voice from
And with that, I'm going to leave you today, because the in this program we have undergone and survived military grade weaponry, and you can attest to the fact that it hasn't killed you; it has only made you stronger, because every day that you are alive, you have defeated them. So just let that sink in, because that's exactly what they did not expect and what they did not see coming.
I was simply targeted because my wife was attacked, and I said, well, I'm not giving her or my daughter to them. So when I found out how to block it, that's when I got targeted.
Yeah,
And that's okay. I take it. I take it with, as a badge of honor,
yeah. Well,
because my wife is safe, and
the person in Puerto Rico that signed off on my nomination form, I am gonna see that person rots in hell. Even if I am 90 years old, I'm not gonna stop. And there's a lot of injustices that have been perpetrated against me in courts and in agencies. Look, I had once as a notary, I had a deed that had been recorded, and a registrar of the property came 9 years later and recorded it to say that it had a defect. That's that's their stupidity, because that is how they tell on themselves that they are collaborating with the program. And it is all going to be known, because all is going to be in the prohibited access and in the restricted access files. Oh, this was our little win. We got this registrar to unrecord her thing. Guess what? That is recorded at the FBI. And the same for you. Everybody that has hurt you and everybody that has profited from hurting you. So keep the eyes on the prize. Please write it somewhere in your house where you see it every day. And with that, I'm gonna close this. Yeah, everybody have a great weekend. Please remember to watch the gavel on Wednesday. I changed it to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Yeah.
So because to accommodate more people, I accepted the suggestions. So please don't miss it. I am going to be bringing the news, the good news for the de-weaponization
Yeah, I got the picture of that.
of government.
And that.
And I don't let go of Ken Bondi, who said to the senators,
You're like-
senators, there is no more weaponization under Donald Trump.
Sweet.
Well, she's wrong, and we're going to prove her wrong
No,
until it's
I
over.
really don't want to.
Okay. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful weekend.
Sure,
Wonderful long weekend. Yeah. Every day,
I
remember.
don't use that.
Every day, wake up and say,
If
"What am I
anybody
going to do
emails me,
today
So
to shut down this program?"
I'm like, first of all, it's not
Make it a goal. Make it a goal every day
no manipulate.
to make them regret having targeted you. That's what I do. It
Just,
works.
You're not protecting.
Try it. You'll love it.
But this one is actually